Back at home, feeling misunderstood, and between these ears ain't nothing good.
Thank you guys for sitting through those ads. Help out the Unhinged Sports Network and our show. Go check out the links in our bio at FEOTB Pod. We're also still selling those blue shirts that we got made for our trip down to Gunnison. We still have some, so DM us on Instagram or Twitter. $12 for the shirt, $3 for a sticker, $15 if we have both. Do we still have stickers?
Yeah, we still have stickers left. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we do still have stickers.
Yeah, you get any of those. Also, Fanatic stuff. The Final Four shirts are out, so you can go get those on there. Those definitely got a snag. Jimmy's gonna snag a Gonzaga one probably for some of his friends.
Probably.
Got a lot of stuff going on. Baseball season started back up. If you want to get a Rockies jersey,
Don't get a Rockies
jersey.
jersey.
Probably not a Rockies jersey.
Get a Yankees jersey.
Get some team's jersey
Garrett
or whatever.
Cole.
Use that Fanatics deal.
Yeah, at FEOTB Pod, link tree in the bio. That's where you can find all the links to it. Everything related to the podcast. All right, let's get back into March Madness. We started with it. Let's come out of the break with it. Why not? And let's do Elite Eight. So first off, let's start. Gonzaga USC happened yesterday, right? That was one of the games.
Gonzaga, USC was on Tuesday. It was on Tuesday. So
Tuesday.
Today, yeah. It came out the day before.
Let's start with Baylor and Arkansas then, because I know that was.
Baylor Arkansas was a good game. It was a very, very high scoring, up tempo. Arkansas they just ran into a lot of troubles offensively. Baylor had a great defense game plan. Like I said in the Sweet 16 matchup, they can guard 1 through 5. So they came up firing and switching basically everything. And Arkansas just Moody and Jalen Johnson just did it. Not Jalen Johnson. Gosh damn it. Jalen Smith, the guy who transferred from Indiana, just did not have their best game. They got into foul trouble early. Arkansas just ran into a buzzsaw, unfortunately. And Baylor, they look damn good.
Baylor's the number 1 seed for a reason. We forgot. There was a time, I know that they went out and got beat up by, I think it was Illinois, but I think the week before that, they were on a roll.
They got beat up by Oregon State in the Big 12 or conference semis.
Oklahoma State. Oregon State and Baylor
Oklahoma State, yeah. Oregon State is also at the Big 12. Oregon State in the Big Pac-12. Yeah, I meant Oklahoma State.
Yeah. And you confused me because they have the same colors.
I confuse all the time.
Same. Other games, speaking of Oregon State, Houston and the Beavers. Houston only beat Oregon State by 6.
Yeah.
67-61.
Yeah, Oregon State made it close at the end. It was a game I had the under on and I had the spread, which was very, very interesting. But look, Oregon State, they just ran into a buzzsaw like in Houston. Quentin Grimes came out firing. That tenacious defense by Houston just came out big time at the last 2 minutes of the game because there was chances for Oregon State to get back in the game. They just weren't able to push through at the end. And it just came down to the wire, and Houston was just making free throws and making the right plays at the end.
That's what Houston's had a good offense, but Houston's defense is
Houston
solid.
And Houston Baylor in the Final Four is going to be very, very good because it's going to be an absolute defensive battle. I would hammer the under on that one.
Who are you going with?
This is going to be a tough one. Like I think I might go Baylor just because of
it being 1 seed, and we've said that the 1 seeds are all going to lose. But
that just hurts because I like Houston a lot though because Quentin Grimes is a stud, Giroux is a stud. They got some big men that are just absolute animals. But Baylor, man, what they're able to do defensively just gives me a slight edge toward them. I don't know why. Like I feel like I should not be picking this way because I think Houston has all the right tools and they've not necessarily dominated more, but they've kind of shown a little bit more in my opinion. And Baylor has kind of been like they're good, but like how good are they? If that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I think that you're right to think that Baylor's just going to go in and probably assert themselves because I think that's just it. We don't know how good Baylor can be. And what better time to pull it out than in the Final Four?
Yeah.
Because getting to this point is fine, but nobody remembers who was in the Final Four.
No, yeah, you remember the championship maybe.
You remember the championship games. You remember the times that you played for a championship. You don't remember the times that you went to the semifinals. That's what people forget. The Final Four is just semis. If you want to not make it fancy, that's all it is.
It's true. It's just this year especially where the whole tournament's in one place. There's not really much special about it. Yeah, they're in a bigger stadium, but the Final Four is just the first out. The first the teams no one talk about.
It'd be a disappointing trip It's like I totally get what you're saying, because usually when you're playing in the tournament, you get to fly to one city for your first round, fly home, fly to the next city for the second round, fly home, and then
for the
Final
round of
Four and
32, round of
National
64 all in the same, and then round 16, 8 and 8 the same, and then Final Four after that. Now all being the same place just adds a little bit of.
It's just it would be frustrating if I've spent 16 days or however long they've been in the bubble. And
it's been longer than that. I feel like
busted my ass and won 3 games and then lost in the Final Four. That would just be. This could be the dagger in the mission. Oh gosh, Michigan's gonna have a chance for the last shot.
We're gonna we'll finish talking about this because
they called the timeout.
Yeah, we'll give you a live reaction to this Michigan UCLA end of the game. But let's finish talking about this while it goes to commercial. But yeah, like Houston and Baylor, between Quentin Grimes especially and the shooting from Houston, people remember the upsets in the round of 64 more than they remember the Final Four. I feel like because people don't remember that year that Villanova and North Carolina went to the national championship. They don't remember who was in the Final Four. They remember the VCUs. They remember the Wichita States that shocked the world. No pun intended. Or the Oral Roberts. Like that's what people remember, and you just gotta, once you're there, you gotta take it in and be like, we got through a region, but now we're here for a reason. And we are one of the best 4 teams in the country. Now we gotta show out. And if you're Baylor and Houston, there's no doubt about them. Those 2 teams being one of the top 4.
Yeah, I mean Texas might not be back, but there's a lot of college basketball still being played for the state of Texas in Houston and Baylor. Other Elite 8 game that's already been wrapped up. Gonzaga took care of business, like we said, against USC and extended their double-digit win margin streak that they've got going on right now.
Gonzaga's rolling.
Yeah,
USC just did not. Yeah, Evan Mobley had a great game. Don't get me wrong. Like he's gonna be a great NBA star, like I've been saying. But Gonzaga just has too much. Drew Timme. No one has an answer for this guy. No one. And it is crazy to think about. That mustache celebration where he pounds a mustache and points up. I love it.
I like the bowling when he gets the charge.
The bowling too. Yeah, they're all just fantastic. The dude is Gonzaga basketball to a T.
Oh, and the funny thing is there's probably more people in USC that'll play in the NBA than there are on Gonzaga.
This is very... they probably about the same. Jalen Suggs on Gonzaga, so...
But if you're thinking about the number 1 team in the country, you're thinking, all these guys are going to be NBA stars. They probably Suggs, and that might be...
Maybe Timmy, I don't know, but Kirshner, probably...
I
don't know. There's not very
over
many,
by some of those guys. All right. Michigan just inbounded with 15 seconds left. Moving around to the left. Now at the top of the key, 3-pointer, 11 seconds on the... What? That didn't even hit rim!
What in the world
What is he doing? And UCLA got the rebound!
That is such a terrible shot by Franz Wagner. Oh my gosh. What in the world is the German doing?
Yeah, your Kraut just... Oh.
your Kraut, your sauerkraut.
He just threw that in the ocean.
He had a wide open 3.
And
oh my gosh.
He airballed it.
That was the cleanest look he will ever get. And he didn't hit nothing. Oh my gosh, here comes the foul game now. Oh man.
I'm not.
Wow, how about that? Look, Michigan still has a chance to possibly tie this.
No, I know that they still have a chance to tie this, but I don't trust them.
That's such a bad... That's a great shot, actually. I take it back. That's a great shot. But airballing that? Franz Wagner is one of the better shooters in this game, too, in college basketball. That's crazy.
7.1 on the clock. UCLA is going to inbound against full court press.
Oh, we got a foul before the inbound, so that's key actually. So look,
Michigan's in the bonus though.
Both teams are in the bonus. I think.
I think both of them are, but Michigan being in the bonus.
Oh no, yeah, they got to get one more foul here, but that's crazy, bro. How in the world is that? Like
that's like if I took that shot. Like I should airball that shot.
That is like hitting nothing.
He should not airball that shot. And sorry that I yelled in everybody's ear as I was doing that. I forget.
He hit nothing. Not even net when he airballed. He hit nothing.
No, the net moved because of the breeze of the airball.
That's
if there were people sitting behind the backboard, they'd all have a cold from
the wind that blew by that. Like I said, that's Wagner. His brother got traded to the Celtics. If you read my blog Tuesday, Danny Ainge has been watching too much of the tournament because Franz has been playing pretty well, unlike tonight. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
both Wagner brothers. Mo Wagner, as the UCLA guy, makes a free throw, clutch ice in his veins.
one
Now we
more.
have a 2-point game.
Yeah, one more, and it's basically because if it goes into overtime,
Mi-
I'm
Michigan
taking UCLA.
Yeah, Michigan has another 2 timeouts, so they use one here to try to ice him. Try to ice the kicker.
Yeah, whatever. I don't want to necessarily move on and just say that UCLA is going to win this because
Crazier things have happened. because-
crazier things have happened. And if it wasn't the night before that we have to get this put up on the network, I probably would be fine with just letting it go. But we'll still have it on, and we'll update when the winner happens. Is that
going back to the USC Gonzaga game.
I mean, just moving forward into that Final Four matchup for the bracket.
I think Michigan or UCLA, whoever comes out of this, I think is going to be a nightmare matchup because I think Gonzaga between Timmy and Kispert and all those great studs they have, I don't think they match up with this team at all.
No, is this going to be Gonzaga's toughest matchup in the tournament? Is it less than a 10-point differential?
Yes, if they play UCLA, it's not because I'd say maybe USC was the biggest competition, and then I throw in if Michigan wins though and does pull this out of their ass somehow, then that is the toughest competition they have. But crazier things have happened. Like I said, the first 4 team to make it into the Final Four was VCU.
Yeah.
And now if UCLA is able to do it, crazier things happen. And like I said, UCLA basketball school.
That's 110% of basketball school. They have no affiliation. They have a football team and their football stadium, amazing.
Rose Bowl, one of the most beautiful stadiums I've ever been to. I got a chance to go there for a UCLA game. Not a great UCLA game, but
well, yeah, that was your mistake. You went
experience,
to the UCLA game and not the Rose Bowl.
oh, he misses it. Here we go.
Oh.
Timeout. Yeah. We got a 2-point game here. We got a game winner on our hands, Jimmy.
2-point game, 3.8 left.
Michigan has to go for the quick 2 here. You don't. I don't know. Maybe at the same time you go for the
UCLA is
win.
not going to let them try and get a 2-point shot.
That's
they're going to
huge,
force
though.
a 3-point, especially after the last possession.
No, that's huge though because you negate the option of if he made that you could have fouled and sent them to the line, and then there's a much better chance you win the game. That's something we've seen a lot more these days. Is we have those options of if you're up by 3, the other team has a chance to tie it with 3. You foul, send them to the line where he only shoots 2, and then less time is on the clock. So that you have a higher possibility of winning. Now with that missed free throw, Michigan has some sort of chance here.
It'd be so interesting to see what happens. I was going to say that he called the timeout before there was just 3 points. 3
It looked like it should have been around like 4 seconds.
Yeah, they'll have enough time to catch the inbound and then dribble a couple times, but it's not going to be. I mean, the crowd that's in there is being treated to a hell of a game.
Yeah, it's really cool that they're able to get some crowd into that arena because this is probably one of the better games of the tournament, 100%. Like top to bottom, this has been an all-out war.
That's what you have. These schools that have the history behind them, you can never really count them out. That's what a lot of people do when it gets to the tournament time. That's why you don't really see Kansas losing in the first round just because they.
They're always the second round. The second round usually.
The second round. They won't ever lose in the 64. They'll lose in the 32.
Look, this. I think you go for 2 here.
Yeah.
Michigan has to go for 2 here. UCLA. I think we may have an overtime on our hands, and then we really might be fucked trying to call this game while we're trying to record the rest of this episode. So, but
we still got a few minutes before we got to move on. We're still in a time frame for the NCAA basketball talk that we put on for the episode, and we already broke it down. Gonzaga's going to beat whoever comes out of this game.
I'm not positive because if UCLA somehow pulls this off, as Smith
inbound
3
seconds.
Game winner.
He took a 3.
Oh,
he missed the game.
He missed it. How much time's left on the clock? Because that's Michigan ball.
No, they're giving it to UCLA. He just pointed to UCLA.
There's going to be some time caught on the clock. I swear I thought they might have given that to Michigan. They gave it to Michigan, I'm pretty sure. He pointed that direction. That's a good look. That's a really good look, too.
2 clutch shots.
Yeah, that's Michigan ball. There's like 0.5 left on the clock. That's enough time to catch and shoot, possibly. Yeah, that's off the arm of UCLA.
Yeah, it's Michigan ball. Damn it.
Yeah, that's off UCLA 100%.
Just let it go out, kid.
That would have been that guard from Michigan, Smith, is also a really, really good player. He's had a hell of a tournament, especially with Livers out. He's been one of the best players for Michigan night in and night out. That's a good look. That's a shot you live with. That's similar to the Ohio State shot that the guy missed, Washington missed at the top. That's the right guy you want shooting the ball.
Yeah.
Although he missed it, it's tough, but that's right shot.
I trust that guy shooting a three more than I trust just the way the other guy looks. I know that Wagner shoots. He's not a he's a shooter.
He's a
right?
shooter, yeah.
But he just
That's-
by looks alone.
Yeah,
Smith
you don't
is
let
the
him
guy
shoot
that I
again
want. No,
with the on line.
I wouldn't let Smith shoot another one with a game on the line. You
Oh,
have a
0.5
shot, you
seconds
missed.
left. You gotta tip it in. You got a quick shot.
Throw it to the backboard.
If you're UCLA, you throw the biggest guy you have on the ball. Don't let anything easy
Here
get
comes
thrown in.
14's
Hopefully, you get a
giant
tip
ass.
in. Hopefully, you
Oh,
get
they're
a
gonna call a damn timeout.
yeah. That's a good timeout for UCLA. But yeah, if you're the guy on the ball, you try to go after a tip. Like if you get a tip off your fingers, game's over. Like that's the most important part about this. The guy on the ball disrupting as much as you can. If you get a tip off your hand, the clock runs, game's over, no shot at all. That's what you got to go for right now if you're UCLA, because 0.5 seconds left. That's barely enough time to catch and shoot. That's a quick catch and shoot, and then you're in a situation where if it's a tip in, you just don't want to foul. That's the next thing. Because you foul, because then you're fucked. Imagine
if you foul,
an
then
and
you
one
give
here.
up the possibility to lose. Oh boy! If Michigan's probably just gonna throw it at the backboard, right? Or try to get
No,
it this
you just
close.
got to throw something up. They probably are sending a pick possibly for Dickinson, or I would say maybe the other big guy. I forgot his name, but they're gonna try to get something toward the hoop, or they're gonna try to pick and pop, like find Wagner, who's probably not a good option, or Smith on the 3-point line for a catch and shoot. I don't.
It looked like they were.
Yeah, I don't
setting
understand
things
why
on.
they don't have anyone on the ball. That's the next thing. What the hell are you doing? You gotta have somebody on the ball, because, like I said, that's the most important part here right now.
Are they? They're not going to a commercial break, right?
No, they're not commercial break.
Come on, basketball takes long enough at the end of games. Come on now. All right,
Interesting.
half a second.
Dickinson's throwing it in. That's very interesting, I think.
Half a second, and Michigan's going to be inbounding underneath the Bruin basket. Trying to, at least. Dickinson gets it, and they got the
Wagner.
shot off!
Oh, no good. UCLA makes it to the Final Four. How about that?
Oh, boy.
How about that? What a game that was.
Yeah. That
Wow,
was a
great
hell of a
ending.
game.
Shout out UCLA. Second 11 seed to make the Final Four since VCU, or first team since VCU. What a great ending. UCLA, man.
That was a hell of a game.
Michigan, not it. That's a bummer. I lost a lot of money on that right there, partially too, because I had Michigan and Gonzaga parlayed. Damn, that's a bummer. But how about UCLA? I should have figured that we wouldn't have 3 number 1 seeds. What am I thinking? Thinking that was a possibility.
That's
What a great game, man. Look, UCLA, I don't know if they have the dogs to beat Gonzaga. That's the only thing. They don't have
they
the
were fouling out at the end of this game. They barely hung on depth-wise for Wolverines and Gonzaga.
Gonzaga is a different breed, but that's Wagner. That's a guy you gave the ball to, though. Oh, he almost banked it in too.
Yeah.
He almost banked it in.
Almost made up for the air ball that we saw earlier.
That air ball is going to come back to haunt him forever. He's going to be a first round draft pick too in the NBA.
The basketball talk for the episode. So